G'day, we are back for part 4 of trying to connect all the world through one city, that city being Stuttgart. Now, why is Nairobi unhappy? Is it just, I think it's its first journey, I assume. But we are getting long flights now. Alright, so we'll get this guy connected. I think at this point we don't have a choice, it's probably got to be 5. Cedar Plains, I haven't checked to see what that guy is, but you can see his planes aren't even on the map for returning yet. I think they are 4-seaters. We'll upgrade that guy at least. Guinea is up next. Let's go to 60,000. It is really nice to be up over 100 minutes at the moment. That does mean that we are still holding strong for the... we're not losing time at the moment. That we're making enough money to sort of still be on the up, because we've got a lot of countries still to go. And luckily the majority of countries to go are in Africa, which does seem like a closer route than what we're otherwise going to have. It is interesting to look at this, because it's not really a screen I've played around with too much, this one, that I could upgrade all the planes. I could say, alright, let's just upgrade all those level 2 planes that are out in the world. We're 74 of 193. I've already delivered 3 million passengers here. Somaliland is next. There's some red planes there. Where are you headed, sir? Cairo. Talk to me, Cairo. As long as this guy's not backlogging, we can ask Stuttgart what it thinks. As long as those are rotating through, I think we're okay. You can see Cairo's currently the top. As long as it stops being the top. And it's not just there's one city that can't actually like meet its quota. Like when the plane's arriving, it's not taking the amount of people that it needs to take. You can see that it is sort of the same cities like Lahore, Istanbul, Cairo, but they'll rotate through because the plane will arrive and take its people. Alright, up to 40,000 for the cost of these airports, for these countries. That's certainly getting up there in price. CAR. Can't see where you are. There you are. And that doesn't need to be a 5-seater, but guess I've evolved to that point in the world where we are just working with 5s. That probably didn't even need to be... I suppose 4s would have done the job there. Moscow's 4s, aren't they? Cairo's staying pretty high at the top of that list, so let's have a look at upgrading Cairo. I think there's no harm in giving them the next level up. Now, it'll be interesting to see what happens to, the cities of Oman when they open up again. Like, the amount of people that are just going to get dumped on that. Like, everyone is going to possibly be building up a requirement for people going to Muscat. So when that actually opens, we could see Stuttgart get hit for a fair bit. Alright, let's get the CAR open. Get them all the way up. Eritrea next. We probably could jump pretty quickly into. If I'm pronouncing that right, too. It's not a name I've ever heard said out loud, just one I've read. I feel like another city opened up there while I was doing that. There we are. Uzbekistan next. which is really about as close a country as we've got nowadays. I suppose Niger and Chad are pretty close. If there's stuff in the north, but assumably their cities are in the south. But we are still waiting that either China or the United States are going to open at some point. And that is where this is really going to break open. But what it'll also break open is that we should make a fair bit more money from, say, a US route. So that's the other side of things that'll blow open, is the amount of money that we're making. Alright, India's up next. So we probably want 100,000? I wouldn't surprise me if we get a few Indian cities quickly. So let's at least wait till we get to 100,000. But you can see that's going pretty quick. We almost went to no money whatsoever. Bring it into Uzbekistan and guarantee at least one of the, surely I've missed hitting the right place at least once, right? Doesn't look like it, but I'm not going to be surprised if Nuremberg, Munich, or Frankfurt end up having someone jumping through them. But I mean, I suppose we can click on them and see that they're all good at the moment. It's nice that we should be able to get India open before we reach 100 minutes. Stockholm. Always nice when those events are happening to a city relatively close to Stuttgart. It cost us 54,000. The route itself is going to cost us about 30. Okay. In we go. Now this initial flight of how long it takes this first guy to get back is where that's probably going to be at most risk. Gambia up next, which is... Oh, here we go, we're already going to start getting hit with a few quick Indian cities, I'd say. We're just going to go full fives for them. Got Gambia down there. Again, I feel like it is 100,000 that we need to open up a new location at this point. Our goal is kind of to stay above 100 minutes. How is Stockholm? Sorry, not Stockholm, Stuttgart reporting this. And Lahore's sitting pretty high, as is Cairo. Not too bad. We've got Kolkata. Okay, you can see that the Indian cities are starting to go yellow, but again, that just means that there's 50 people there for the 100 they can take, and that's the first plane finally getting back. I do love that on this screen I can just upgrade all of those at one swoop. Alright, Gambia. Oh. Indian city. Just every time I set up a city, I'd pause for a second there just to read that it's definitely Stuttgart is the second one. And we can see we've got a few red planes there heading for Calcutta. Calcutta was at least hit with a sudden surge of people wanting to go there. Why? Aim for 100 again, but we're up to 62,000 already, so we are creeping up in those costs. Factor in that we probably have to expand the amount we're aiming for there. They're definitely getting expensive though. I guess it is nice to see these red planes heading to India, though, because that means that we've got people flying some of the longer distance flights that we've got. I mean, assuming that they're not flying just from New Delhi to Mumbai or something, just via Central Europe. But again, I don't know if that actually is a, like, if I gain money forcing them to fly so much further. Munich is almost full. Why are you so full, Munich? Why have you got so many people waiting to go to Hyderabad? There we go. Alright, so... routes, that one. Sell the route. I was waiting for it to happen, and it happened. At least we know that if it does happen, it's gonna, like, obviously show up as an issue very quickly. Which means that Hyderabad's going to sit with a heavy amount a little while. While its new planes work their way up there. That is amazing that with every single plane going through this airport, like, almost a quarter of them were people waiting to go to Hyderabad. Doesn't mean I do need to be double checking that I am clicking Stuttgart when I press that. This problem is going to become even more apparent when we open up into China. Part of this again though is that these are these airports are smaller than the amount of people that the planes that are taking care of them can handle. Because no airport except for Stuttgart has actually got any like transfer passengers, the airports themselves should be able to handle this all pretty well. Just about to get somewhere new opened. I didn't audit to make sure that was Stuttgart, but I can see it is there, so we're all good. Get Sierra Leone in there. Stuttgart. Uganda, so down here. Just jump back into the stats and get rid of our level 2 airports. I think that some of those newer ones, especially obviously the ones that are further away. So we don't want to have them being too much smaller. There's still some red flights heading out this way. Calcutta. Plenty popular. Like I said, this is where this becomes a real test. When this guy can't handle it, that's basically the only thing that completely limits how far we can go off just one airport. That being said, too, like, this airport isn't the most central point. There's, like, say, Khartoum and Sudan would probably be a pretty good central point for the whole world. Like, if I'm zoomed all the way out there, you can see it's pretty much right in the bang there, center there. Alright, so that should be enough money to get Uganda going. Ghana. Now back to India. Those are expensive. It's 30,000. It's more expensive to open the airports themselves than the countries. So it is this part of Africa that we kind of want to work on at the moment to try and stick around that 100-minute mark. Like I said, it's sort of almost a give and take. Like, there is a bit of a blessing that we haven't got the US or China yet. But at the same time, once we get the US, the amount of money that we're going to make on flights is going to really increase. So, initially it's going to be hard. Long term, it's going to improve our, like, money making. I suppose the more time that we have to sort of be ready to prepare for it, really the better. At the rate we're going, I'd expect China's going to come in sooner than the US will, though. I mean, with every one of these Indian cities that we get, means that there's more people traveling to the furthest point in our network. Drop back under 100 minutes there, but we will jump straight back up there again. Alright, Djibouti is... Does that live as a country? It's somewhere in here, right? It's a small one? No. That one? There we are. It's definitely not done with giving me Indian cities. I don't know why sometimes I can click on that, and other times I can't. Like, what mark I'm meant to be hitting for that to work. So it's going to be 88,000, it's going to be at least 30,000 to get there, so I need at least 120,000. Problem is, the longer I wait, the more likely I am to get another Indian city and spend about 30,000, 40,000 getting that in the mix. The thing is that everything that's closer... Well, finally we got an Oktoberfest. Nothing's really freaking out any closer. Like, it's not that the initial setups I gave the closer cities, they're not getting any worse, which is nice. there we go. Blank is up next, so we're going to pull a little bit further away. More Indian cities to get in there. I think that was an Indian city, was it? Okay. We want about 150,000 before we bring this in. Let's just zoom in on this amazing, like, sort of rhythmic move of just watching planes go in and out. If it announces at any point that Germany is cut off, we are cooked. Yeah, absolutely cooked. I mean, do I kind of want to see what would happen then? Sure. I mean, the whole world would stop moving passengers. And then they would all suddenly send all of their passengers at once, and Stuttgart would lose its mind. You can see it is starting to push up a little bit higher, that it is a lot of the Indian cities, the further away ones, that are having people just waiting in the airport. Alright, there we go, Sri Lanka. Now we're getting even further away. Myanmar's next. Now Myanmar's almost as far as the US is, I feel. Apparently, like, cheaper at least to get to, because for some reason it's way more expensive to head sort of like in a diagonal south. Well, we don't really want to be doing anything then this week. We'll just sit and wait on that guy. Surprised that we haven't gotten more in more cities in Europe. I mean, some of them feel like they'd be really hard to click on. I can't imagine it would be fun to live somewhere in here. See Calcutta, and that really getting high. Alright, so it's 2 Indian cities we've got to worry about once expensive routes goes. We are making money quick nowadays. Almost done. $60,000. Of course it was 60,000 because it was before I'd waited for the thing to end. Click, 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 click. Nothing. Alright, Myanmar. Bangladesh, I reckon we can get pretty quick too, except this is going to cost us a fortune. Get connected. We look in stats wise, so we're up to 88 of 193. Let's clear them out of here. Alright, we want Bangladesh up next. Am I on Dhaka? Yep, good. Right, the Bangladeshi city. And we've got Democratic Republic of Congo, so we're heading deeper into Africa as well. This is definitely starting to look real hectic. You, where are you headed, sir? Istanbul. Well, certainly have at least a fourth plane. See how that helps you. A few, like, plenty of red planes heading out this way. That's Dhaka. Okay, that's understandable. The 5 million passengers. That playtime is actually the total time of the game, not in being sped up, not the time I've actually spent sitting here. Would have certainly felt it if it was 2.5 hours at this point. So I feel like I'm going to be paying at least 50,000 to get to Democratic Republic. Stuttgart is almost full. Dhaka, I mean, that one should slowly be correcting, I believe, but apparently it's not. There we go, there's at least one hit for it. Well, welcome to our first level 6 planes. So basically Dhaka is now as many planes going as fast as possible as we can have. It's still finding itself on the top every now and then. Let's get Congo in there. You've dropped into the 90s the time. So our aim would be, can we get back up to 100 and show ourselves that we are still sort of keeping on top of things? Because we are not even halfway yet in terms of total countries, which amazes me. I guess a lot of it's going to be these little guys in here. Well, planes just became way more expensive, so we'll wait. I do love this. It's becoming very mesmerizing, just watching the planes flow in and out. Can you imagine the amount of money that Stuttgart would have as a city if this was the way air travel worked? They would be rolling in it. Just have a look at some planes that are getting full. Istanbul's still a big one. Want to make sure we don't lose these cities that we need to bring in. We run out of this. But definitely making money though. It's, doesn't seem to be a problem at the moment. Okay. There we go, that's the other one. Okay, so we've got those new airports in, then let's get the Congo in. Not done with India just yet. Alright, Kazakhstan. We've definitely got the money for it. Let's just do a quick burst of in more countries. We've got Angola as well. Oh, we're going real far away now. Alright, and that brings us to the end of this part. When we come back, Gabon is up next. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later. Actually, guess we've got to go full world map now to show how far we travel. There.